and gentlemen, this is the About Last Night show. With me, I'm awesome.
Hey, come on, hey, there's other people here, man.
Oh, there is.
Fucking,
Oh,
what is this, the Brad Williams show?
Well, I tried to do that, but we are in Hollywood, and we are obligated to have at least one Jew on the show.
Yeah, well, at least you know the rules.
Yeah, I do. I was schooled in them. So, I'm Brad Williams, and my co-host over here, as always,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Although Hanukkah is
done.
done.
We're almost done.
Is it almost done?
It's the 15th night. That's
15th
not right.
night of
28
Hanukkah.
nights.
That's amazing.
No,
So
it
they
started-
extended it by 2 weeks now.
Well, you know,
We need more shopping days.
More shopping days.
To put the gross national product has to go up. The bottom line.
we had Black Friday, then we needed, another Friday.
We need more Fridays.
I think it's time though. Presents? I usually do get presents. First of all, that voice you're hearing, let's not waste any time on the intro.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Frank TV,
Oh, jeez.
from Comedy Central. I was about to start doing like what every host does.
Right.
From The Tonight Show, from Conan,
Just
from
making up
Showtime.
credits.
You've seen him everywhere.
You've seen him everywhere.
It's
Plus
funny.
the colleges, crowd the
Or when
kids.
you were maybe had like no one line in a Jimmy Kimmel sketch. You're like, you've seen him on the Jimmy Kimmel show.
That's
It's like, well, maybe you did see him.
Yeah.
You probably didn't because he had one line.
That's my intro. Sketches.
Yo, but you got-
It's so funny you bring that up. First of all, Melissa Villasenor
Villasenor
Yeah.
is in the studio.
Melissa
Right.
Villasenor is the sweetest person in comedy. But you know what? But she's also an incredible comedian, amazing impressionist.
Mm-hmm.
Just honing a unique voice in comedy right now. And you're how many years in comedy?
About 5.
5. How do you? It's a good. That's just over the hump of like being like I'm now starting to figure out a little bit of who I am. Right? You're
Oh,
starting to
yes.
turn the corner of being like, all right, and
It's getting pretty deep now.
but also
It's like, crap,
like,
I'm in this for life.
yeah. Past the 2 or 3 years of scraping for stage time, but still like I'd say 5 years away from when we probably I feel like 10 years at least from what I assess from seeing comedians who are doing it is when you really go, I feel like I got a pretty dope act right now, right?
That's
Well-
probably true.
Hopefully, because when people tell
If
me,
you're hustling like we're hustling.
yeah, or when people say like, hey, I'm
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
The viewers
about to
couldn't see
agree.
it, but we just gave a nice little fist bump.
Yeah, you did. I mean, when people come to me and say, hey, I'm thinking about getting stand up, like, how long before I make it? And I say, well, anywhere between 2 and 80 years. Somewhere in there you'll make it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully by 78, you're telling geriatric piss the bed jokes.
But what I wanted to tell you is that you brought up the thing with the host is because I did the Laugh Factory in Long Beach, and on last night, before I met you guys at a party, which we talked about, I like this is literally we're actually doing show. We're actually talking about last night on our show about last night.
Yeah.
It never happens that way.
Maybe the first time in the history of our show
Yeah.
where the title makes sense.
So last night I'm doing the Long Beach Laugh Factory, and the host goes on stage to bring up the comedian, and he says, "All right, this is a great moment because this guy's first time ever on stage. You've seen him touring all over the country.
No, you
What?
haven't.
Those
Oh my
statements
God.
followed each other back to back.
That's ridiculous.
This is his very first time on stage, and you've seen him touring all over the country. So unless he's just a traveling whore,
Guzzler? Why is it?
he's making he made his living as a concubine, but now he's trying out stand-up comedy.
Wow.
Give it up for him. And
Wow.
I just started laughing. And
But when you're starting out, you need, and using that Kimmel credit, you got to use something, man. And you got to have something to go up to, and hey, we're on the show.
yeah, I was on the show technically. I met Don Rickles on that show.
Maybe that should be a credit.
Right, he's met Don Rickles. Don Rickles, I met him on the Kimmel show, and he was walking out. He was exiting, and then he saw me. I was dying to get a picture. Everyone on the Kimmel show told me I'm not going to be able to get a picture because he's Don Rickles and doesn't do that kind of stuff. But
Did he say anything to you?
yes, I'm sitting on the
Known
hallway.
for being like the original roast master.
He's the insult comic of all the insult comics.
You like him?
To be
John
insult-
Rickles, little old man, bald, like.
Ah, man.
Really? You don't
No,
know
no,
Rickles?
no. I know him. I
Oh, okay.
can't think of it
All
right
right.
now.
Well, our DJ and sound man, Dangerous Dick, will pull it up at some point. Dick, how are you, by the way?
He's good. He's good.
But let's. So
So
Yeah.
Rickles is coming out. Sees me in the hallway. Stops, and his entire entourage stops around him, and he just looks me up and down and goes, "Stop smoking!" Like smoking stunted my growth. Hence, that's why I'm little.
That's what he said to you.
Yeah, he just said stop smoking. It was great.
Wow.
So I've been insulted by Don Rickles. that will go.
Did you say anything back? That's what I'm curious about. When you're like people in the audience, they're not going to have a clever retort. But
Right.
if you're a comedian, and are you? Do you just take it, or are you like, oh, this is my opportunity to engage in banter with the guy who's?
I didn't have anything back because Rickles is the master.
Yeah. What are you going to say back?
Yeah, and that's him. Like
I'm
that's-
younger than you.
Right. Like that's like you see Gretzky on the ice at some random rink and he's doing moves that you've never seen before and doing them perfectly, and you go, "Well, I can skate backwards," and then you just kind of do that and try to show off for him. No, I acknowledged Rickles, said, "Hey, thank you. I'm a huge fan.
Sure.
Can we get a picture?" And now that picture is in my house, right next to the picture of me and Hulk Hogan. Which one do I value more? I have no idea.
Oh my God, who's got the better porn out there? Rickles or Hulk Hogan? Let's. Can we pull up that clip of Melissa first? So you pulled Rickles. All right, play a clip.
He speaks English, though.
What does that mean, Doc?
That means get off my mind.
You recognize that guy?
Watch all the way in the
I
back.
know. I'm sorry. I've heard his name before, but I don't know.
I think he started in like the fifth. Like he was big on Carson. Like he would come on Johnny Carson and rip on Carson.
And
And fill in for him. I think.
our younger viewers may know him from Toy Story as Mr. Potato Head.
See, that I know.
There you go!
Which brings us to our next question. How old is Melissa Biasini?
That's 25.
25.
Alright.
So you started saying it when you were 20.
Wrong. I cut the years, you guys, because I started actually when I was 17. But I
But you didn't.
eliminate those.
Of course.
I say 20.
Okay.
Because that's
It's like
when you.
spots every once a month. So I don't.
You can't get that because you're not getting better at that point. And you're not, even though you still consider yourself a comedian, I think we all do it. I think you do it
Yeah.
twice. And you walk around and be like, "Yeah, I gotta go to the comedy store." I remember those. You see people around all the time. I did it. Shit, I remember I
Right.
performed in the main room. It was maybe my 8th time doing stand-up. Chris Rock came on after me. I went on Facebook that night and was like, "I opened for Chris Rock," and everyone back home's like, "Yeah, man, you're killing it."
He's
And I'm like, I
making
am
it.
killing it.
8 times in.
Then I
He's got
did
a
a belly.
he's got a 3-picture deal in the works.
Yeah, yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
I mean, it's 3 pictures that he drew and put on the fridge. But
sure.
That's so
good night.
It counts.
And then like I did a belly room show and Michael Richards was on it, and I
Mhm.
talked to him in the green room before. By the way, a week before he went to the factory and dropped a couple N-bombs.
Yeah.
Not talking about Fig Newton. And yeah, that's the other N-bomb.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine if that's what he said?
Newton?
Yeah. If he said it with the same anger and like.
He's a Newton! He's a Newton! We used to string Newtons up by their heels! That goes back to...
See, would you get in trouble?
That
If you
goes-
insinuated what he was,
Sure.
that it's a slur, but he said Newton, like,
He's
a strawberry Newton.
well, that goes back to my...
He's a fig Newton.
that goes back to my biscuit lips theory,
Yeah.
or our biscuit lips theory, and if you missed that podcast,
Tell Melissa what happened.
here's what happened. I was doing a show in Long Island, New York. 2 black people sitting up front, talking during my show. Before... you look shocked. So...
Hug that mic,
Yeah, sorry.
Before I could address them, some guy yelled out from the back, some audience member, "Hey, shut your mouth, Biscuit Lips!"
Oh.
And I had never heard Biscuit Lips before. But he said it with such conviction, where you're like, "That's a bad racial slur." But I never, and when you break down Biscuit Lips, it doesn't. You can't tell what it means. Biscuits are loved by white people. Everyone has lips. Like even the black guy stood up. He's like, "Motherfucker, I will get." Biscuit Lips, really? Like I don't even know what that.
You said that?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
That's
was
hilarious.
was intrigued by it. So
And
that's
you're on stage like, hey, I don't know what to do.
I was just laughing. I didn't know. I had to give as a human being, I hurt that someone just said a racial slur. But as a comedian, respect, much respect to say something that I didn't know of. We've got Melissa's video.
Yeah.
pulled up.
So
man.
Melissa. So
Oh, this is the final time before I got booted off, guys.
Wait, is this? Oh no. Okay, Dick, can you look at what would you type in the clip to find the clip
Well,
of?
just I guess.
Oh yeah, this is from Seattle.
Okay,
Yeah.
So put
Dick,
in.
type in Seattle.
Just pop in. Right, once we get your America's Got Talent, it'll pop in. Or
So
whatever. It's that main one there. I'm trying to think, 'cause there's one with a really long intro.
well, we can fast forward.
Okay.
Yeah. So just
But you guys, I was 20.
On this,
Yeah.
that was 2 years ago.
oh, wow.
And so, and
And
you
I
were
don't.
working.
When I watch it, I feel like I'm nothing like that on stage.
Isn't that
Isn't it
it's
crazy?
cool
It is cool.
because it's
Now
like
I'm
you're
oh,
like
man.
like to see the change is one of the most rewarding parts about this because you're like, all right, that lets me know that I'm doing it enough to
Yeah.
evolve and just And so you started doing stand-up. All right, seriously, when you were 20, you've always been doing voices and impressions, which is how you got on America's Got Talent, which
Mhm.
you can say is what really like put your name out there a lot, right?
Oh.
And then you started doing the road, colleges and clubs nonstop,
Mhm.
and you had never been on the road
No.
before.
We've talked about this
Yeah.
many times.
It's fucking lonely and scary.
Yeah.
First of all, but then to go from working at Forever 21 to just the
Yeah.
road, like
You worked at
three-
Forever 21.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How many times did you lie to some 48-year-old that came in there going, "This looks good on me, right?" How many times? How many times? Exactly. You have to
you
though.
have to, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
there
making
was,
the
there was
sale.
one time a extremely old lady. She walks out. You know, she thinks she's hot stuff, and I go, "Have a nice day," because you have to greet everyone. You go, "Have a nice day." And so she's walking out, and she turns around, and she takes her shirt and pulls it down off her shoulder, and then walks out. I was like, what did that mean?
Isn't it like a fuck you, an old lady?
No.
Oh really? Yeah. Have a nice look at this bony, crinkly shoulder blade.
Hey,
So weird.
What was that?
I
Somebody
read Montclair. Shoulder veins are in this fall.
Oh god,
So-
shoulder veins. That might be the quickest way to kill a heart on.
Straight out her shoulder.
Check out those shoulder veins.
So
Wanna pop 'em.
we've got that's funny. So we've got her audition right here, and this is where we know.
And so Brad,
Melissa
yeah, so Melissa, such a great comedian. This is the impressions you could say, right? Is what will put you on the map.
Oh yeah.
And now, as we're about to see, and Brad has never heard any of them, so this is going to be great. But now you're saying, I mean, you're trying to kind of get away from,
Not necessarily get away from impressions, but just I can't
not make it your.
not make that like
Because
the
when,
main
after
thing.
this, people saw this and do impressions. They were like, "Hey, let's book the
Yeah.
impression comic and do all that."
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's what people love, and that's what they want to see.
Right, and I always do them in my shows. If I
course.
do like an hour or 45
Because they're incredible, and you have to. And
yeah,
and
definitely.
but after a while, you're like, "Hey, I've also got a comedic mind that I tap
Right.
into."
Yeah.
So-
Thanks, Adam. Thank you.
So let's hear some of these impressions. Here's Melissa Villaseñor.
This is Barbara Walters, and today on my show, I have award-winning actress Natalie Portman. Natalie, I hear you're having a baby.
You're doing a great Natalie Portman face. Look it up.
I am Barbara.
That's great.
We're thinking of naming the baby Oscar, but that's silly because that's my cat's name. So
There you go.
Crazy.
You're loving it.
Hey y'all, it's Miley Cyrus. What's up?
And you have the teeth. I love that you put out the teeth.
What, Dad?
Good job.
No, I'm not gonna clean my room right now. Want me to clean out your bank account?
Nick Cannon's loving it.
Well, sure, because you have talent. He's jealous.
Okay, Kathy Griffin here again. Okay, so here's the thing.
You got Griffin now.
Okay, so the celebrity I really hate right now is Christina Aguilera. Yeah. Because she totally messed up the Star Spangled Banner. Am I right?
Oh, say, can you say, oh yeah, and it's my life, let's leaving on, oh yeah.
Ain't even finished.
That was an amazing Kathy Griffin moment.
Thank you.
It's perfect. Look at it. We just cut her off after that, right? No, keep it
Yeah,
playing.
it was really weird. It was a weird experience.
Hearing that many, because I mean, what you're doing?
Crazy on
You did a
headphones.
comedy store. Keep
I
playing. Nick.
don't think that you will be working in retail much longer.
I don't think when she said that.
I was like, oh, good. You better be right.
Will you tell my manager that?
Yeah.
Be right.
And tell my, oh man, but Forever 21, my manager, once, because they came to film me working at Forever 21, they got, and at a time my manager.
They want to show the backstory.
Yeah, and then the manager, after my manager, one of the managers found out I was in the show and everything, he started speaking. What? Yeah.
Jealous.
Yeah, no, he was
Former
like
singer?
mean. I don't know what he was, but
Well, he's a
when I was
manager of a Forever 21,
Well,
enough,
yeah.
and that's
I
not
know,
what
but-
you
And he's
put.
watching you using it as a springboard to something else. And he's like, this is a springboard to just eventually dying as a Forever 21 manager.
What? You-
Yeah. No, I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's a great guy.
Adam, how dare you? I'm sure when they had career day in high school,
Fair enough.
he was in the
He was
Forever
next to
21
Quiznos.
manager line.
It went Quiznos, Ross, Radio Shack,
Ross.
Forever 21.
Yeah.
Aw, Radio Shack.
Hey, I love Radio Shack.
There you go.
It's on its way out, though.
But
we can talk about that next week.
Okay,
But
no,
it's-
but it's so.
So they were filming there, and he was just like, he didn't
oh,
like
yeah,
it.
I forgot what he said, but he was like, "You're not greeting the customers, Melissa," and I was. But he literally every person that had to walk in the door, we had to say,
Welcome to Forever 21.
and I didn't want it. I don't know. I was getting lazy, but I was just.
Well,
frustrated.
but
because you don't
in,
be working there.
I used to work retail. I worked at Hot Topic. What's up?
Oh man, I just bought a studded belt from there the other day.
Darn right you did.
What would you have told her if she bought the studded belt from you?
Oh,
Actually, let's set up the scene, ready?
Okay.
Melissa, you're walking in,
Alright.
you're looking for a studded belt.
Excuse
Wait, hey, greet her.
Hey, welcome to Hot Topic. Be sure to check out our rock wall in the back where all our rock
Yes.
tees are actually 25% off today. 75% off if it's an AFI shirt because no one listens to that fucking band. But all of our good bands, 25% off.
Okay, thanks. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Now, can I help you find anything specific today?
Oh, I was wondering if you have those belts with the studs in it that are real punk.
Absolutely. Those are the most punk rock you can get. We
Yeah,
have those
that's what I-
studded belts. Now, in addition to those studded belts, we also sell studded bracelets,
Oh.
studded earrings,
Oh,
studded clit rings, and we could have you just be completely studded out. It's definitely the look. Nothing says more punk rock. I hate my family. Fuck you, Dad. I hate that you're a lawyer and you bought all me this nice stuff than a studded belt.
Oh
Babe,
my gosh.
babe,
Oh, wow.
Babe,
Hey,
what are you doing?
Yeah, no, you know
Babe, I told you to meet me outside of Lids.
what?
I got my Wiener Schnitzel pretzel, and it's almost done, and I'm at Lids, and I'm waiting for you, like, what the fuck?
Look, I
He's
wanted
Karen.
a studded belt, but then this guy here working on Hot Topic told me he just pretty much hates everything. So I want to get out of here.
You hate it? Oh, yeah, do you fucking hate making my girlfriend be late to meeting me outside Lids?
Absolutely, I hate doing that because you're
Yeah.
obviously a stud of a man.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, look at you. You're strapping.
Yeah.
Have you thought about getting yourself into a Motorhead T-shirt?
For sure, dude. I also want to see if you got a Homer Simpson cock ring.
I do have Homer Simpson cock rings.
Hell yeah,
in
dude.
fact, they go perfectly with the entire Simpson set of cock rings. Unfortunately, we can't have Maggie. Something about legal issues, about having a baby on your cock.
Hell yeah.
They don't really let us do that.
Sure.
But we absolutely have the entire Simpsons. We also have Bob's Burgers, Family Guy. Once again, can't have Stewie. Something about the
All
baby
good,
issue.
all good. How much for you, man? How much
Three.
for you?
We actually do sell.
True.
We don't sell meat exactly,
One.
but we have Lord of the Rings cock rings where you can have a dwarf there. He comes with a battle axe, and the battle axe is
Perfect.
real.
Perfect.
So you got to be careful when installing the cock ring. But I don't know if you're Jewish or not Jewish, but in case you do need a circumcision, the battle axe does double as a circumcision device. So you can have that. We also have.
Oh, you did work there.
Can you tell?
Holy shit.
Jesus.
That's very good.
Oh,
And yes, I do have a stutter.
that's fine. And that's the
That was really
sale.
good.
Do you want to know the actual reason why I have a stutter?
No.
And this is
Well,
true.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
I
it's
said
fuck
no.
you.
don't wanna
I meant
know.
like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I said no.
And this is the absolute truth. I found this out a couple years ago, and,
Obviously.
and it's amazing that I do comedy, but I have a stutter, but it's true.
You don't. It never
I didn't
affects
even
the
know